Earth's sky was no longer just a canvas of stars. It had become a theater of tension and wonder. For centuries, humanity had dreamed of meeting others in the vast expanse beyond their blue planet. Then, one ordinary evening, telescopes around, the globe detected something extraordinary, a fleet of ships, vast and ancient, moving with deliberate grace. These were no ordinary visitors. They belonged to the Zolari, the galaxy's oldest known species, beings spoken of only in myths and fragmented histories. What stunned humanity most was not just their arrival, but their behavior. The fleet halted abruptly, lingering in space, just beyond Earth's orbit. They did not attempt communication, no greetings, no warnings, no hostile moves, just silence. In the halls of the United Nations Space Council, tension was thick. Ambassadors from every nation debated furiously, was this a threat, a test, or something far beyond human understanding? Dr. Lena Ortiz, lead astrophysicist at the International Space Agency, stared at the monitors. They're not moving closer. Not even a single ship crosses the boundary around Earth. It's as if they're respecting an invisible line. Her words echoed the puzzled murmurs across the room. Outside, news outlets buzzed with theories. Some said the Zolari were waiting for humanity to prove itself worthy. Others feared a quarantine, as if Earth were a dangerous place that even the oldest beings dared not approach. Meanwhile, social media erupted. Memes, debates, and fear spread. Schools held emergency lessons on galactic history. The world was united in curiosity and uncertainty. In orbit, satellites relayed images of the fleet, colossal ships shaped like ancient trees, their surfaces shimmering with patterns that shifted like living art. These vessels seemed organic, yet unmistakably technological, hinting at civilizations far older than humanity could imagine. On Earth's surface, military commanders scrambled to ready defenses just in case. Fighter squadrons were placed on alert, and missile batteries stood primed. But there was no sign of aggression, only observation. Days passed with no change. The Zolari fleet remained silent, motionless. In a quiet moment, Dr. Ortiz voiced a thought to her team. What if they're not here to conquer or destroy? What if they're waiting, watching? Her suggestion was met with nods and silence. The idea that Earth was being studied, not attacked, was both a relief and a new puzzle. Then came the first anomaly. One of Earth's deep space probes, sent to scan the fleet more closely, vanished without warning. No distress signals, no debris, just a sudden disappearance. The council was stunned. If the Zolari were peaceful observers, why would a probe vanish? Was it a warning, a test, or something beyond their control? As night fell across the globe, aliens looked up at the stars. The fleet hung like a ghostly sentinel, silent and still. Humanity stood at a crossroads. The galaxy's oldest species had arrived, and they refused to enter Earth's orbit, and the reason remained a mystery. The disappearance of the probe sent ripples of unease through Earth's space agencies. Questions swirled in every briefing room. What had happened to the probe? Had the Zolari done it? Was it a warning or something else entirely? In response, Earth launched a fleet of uncrewed drones. Small, nimble craft designed to slip through any defenses and gather data. Each drone was equipped with the latest stealth technology, hoping to bypass whatever shield or barrier the Zolari had set up. But no matter how many drones were sent, none returned. The last signals transmitted reported strange electromagnetic interference, then silence. Dr. Lena Ortiz pored over the data late into the night. There's something blocking them, she told her team, her voice steady despite growing frustration. An invisible barrier, energy fields that disrupt electronics, prevent communication, and physically block passage. Her discovery was confirmed by multiple independent labs worldwide. Earth was surrounded by an unseen force field, extending just beyond the reach of the Zolari fleet. Military strategists debated their next move. Was this barrier a quarantine, a protective shield, or a trap? Meanwhile, the Zolari fleet remained as silent and still as ever. They did not retaliate against Earth's attempts to breach the barrier, nor did they initiate contact. It was as if they had established a boundary that neither side dared cross. On Earth's surface, fear mixed with fascination. News anchors described the invisible shield as a celestial fence holding humanity at bay. Conspiracy theories flourished. Some believed the barrier was to protect Earth from a greater cosmic danger. Others thought it was to keep humanity isolated until the Zolari decided the time was right. Amid the uncertainty, Dr. Ortiz uncovered a pattern in the electromagnetic readings. These energy fields aren't random, she said during a global broadcast. They follow a precise frequency almost like a lock, or a message encoded in waves. Governments scrambled to decode the pattern, hoping it would reveal the Zolari's intentions. But the signals resisted every attempt at interpretation. Then, strange anomalies appeared near the energy field, small bursts of light, brief flashes that defied scientific explanation. Some believed they were attempts at communication, while others saw warnings embedded in the bursts. Despite humanity's growing impatience, the Zolari fleet showed no signs of aggression. They neither advanced nor withdrew, locked in a silent vigil. In quiet moments, people wondered what the Zolari could be protecting Earth from, or what secret Earth held that demanded such caution. Dr. Ortiz often found herself gazing upward, lost in thought. "We've always believed we were alone or unimportant," she reflected. "But the Zolari's actions suggest Earth is different. Something about us matters." Across the globe, artists, philosophers, and scientists alike began to view the situation as a cosmic riddle, a challenge for humanity to grow beyond its limits. And so, Earth remained encircled by invisible walls, watched by a silent fleet that refused to enter. The mystery deepened as the invisible barrier held steady and the silent Zolari fleet lingered beyond Earth's orbit. Humanity turned to its greatest archives in search of answers. The world's historians, archaeologists, and xenologists pored over ancient records, both on Earth and from distant probes that had scanned other star systems. Among them was Dr. Amina Rahal, a renowned xenohistorian who specialized in tracing the origins of galactic civilizations. Late one evening, in the dim glow of her laboratory, she stumbled upon a forgotten fragment of data from an ancient galactic archive, once thought lost to time. The fragment spoke of the Zolari not merely as a species, but as ancient guardians, keepers of evolutionary milestones across countless worlds. Her hands trembled slightly as she read the faded translation. "The Zolari are the Watchers, bound to safeguard the rise and fall of sentient life. Their silence is the seal of protection, and their barriers are shields against awakening the dormant." The phrase "the dormant" sent a chill down her spine. She cross-referenced with other fragments, myths about a cosmic force buried deep beneath the seed world, a place whose destruction would ripple chaos through the stars. Could Earth be that seed world? The thought sparked heated debates among scientists and leaders alike. Was humanity's rapid technological advancement a blessing, or a threat waiting to awaken something ancient and terrible? Meanwhile, rumors began to surface on encrypted network stories of lost civilizations wiped out by a cosmic catastrophe, and the Zolari's centuries-long mission to prevent a repeat. Some spoke of a slumbering titan beneath Earth's crust, a source of immense power and danger. The council convened an emergency session. Ambassador Kaya Chen addressed the assembly. "If Earth is the seed world spoken of in these archives, the Zolari's refusal to enter orbit is not hostility, it is caution. They protect us from ourselves, and perhaps protect the galaxy from what lies beneath." Not all agreed. Some viewed the Zolari's silence as a sign of contempt, a warning that humanity was not yet worthy. Others feared that probing too deeply might trigger the catastrophe the Zolari tried to prevent. In the midst of this uncertainty, grassroots movements arose. Philosophers urged patience and reflection, while others called for bold action to contact the Zolari directly or explore Earth's hidden depths. Dr. Rahal found herself at the center of a growing coalition of scholars and explorers. "We stand at a crossroads," she said during a global broadcast. "To understand our past is to safeguard our future. The Zolari have been silent for centuries. Perhaps now is the time to listen." As the world watched and waited, subtle changes began. Seismic readings beneath Earth's surface hinted at a growing energy, one that neither scientists nor seismologists could explain. Could it be the dormant force from the ancient texts, slowly stirring in response to humanity's presence? The Zolari fleet remained in place, their watchers silent but vigilant. Earth was no longer just a planet. It had become the epicenter of a cosmic mystery, one tied to the oldest species in the galaxy and the fate of all sentient life. Days turned into weeks, and the Zolari fleet remained motionless, their colossal ships hovering silently just beyond Earth's protective barrier. The world's attention had shifted from fear to a tense curiosity. What were they waiting for, watching, and why did the silence feel so heavy, almost deliberate? Dr. Lena Ortiz had not stopped her work. If the Zolari refused to speak, humanity would listen in other ways. Her team had begun to study the subtle electromagnetic fluctuations coming from the fleet, unlike the broad energy field around Earth. These signals had patterns, complex, rhythmic pulses that hinted at intelligence, but no clear language. It's almost like they're observing us through these waves, Lena explained during a global webcast. Not communicating in words, but sending data signals layered beneath signals, like a code. The challenge was immense. Every attempt to respond to these patterns with radio transmissions resulted in silence. It was as if the Zoleri chose not to engage directly, or perhaps the medium was beyond human understanding. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, the mystery inspired artists, poets, and thinkers. The Silent Watchers became a symbol of patience, wisdom, and the vast unknown. A wave of cultural movements emerged, celebrating humanity's place in a larger universe despite the uncertainties. Amid this cultural awakening, scientists made a startling discovery. Using ultra-sensitive instruments, they detected tiny shifts in Earth's magnetic field, minute changes synchronized with the Zoleri's electromagnetic signals. It was as if the Watchers were subtly influencing Earth itself, perhaps nudging the planet's own energy in a precise dance. This isn't passive observation, Lena said, her eyes reflecting a mix of awe and caution. They're engaged with Earth on a level we don't yet understand. The discovery sparked debate. Was this influence protective, manipulative, or a form of communication beyond language? While the world pondered, a new threat emerged. A series of unexplained power outages struck several major cities, accompanied by strange electronic disturbances. Satellites flickered, communications faltered. Governments scrambled to identify the cause. Some feared the Zoleri were testing Earth's resilience. Others speculated a hidden danger beneath the surface was awakening, responding to the growing tension. In response, Earth's leaders established a new agency, the Cosmic Observation Council, tasked with studying the Zoleri and protecting humanity from unknown risks. Lena was appointed chief scientific advisor. One evening, as Lena reviewed the latest data, her screen lit up with a sudden burst of coded signals unlike any before, complex and layered. Pulsing in a rhythm that suggested urgency, she felt a chill. For the first time, the silence seemed to be breaking, not with words, but with a signal meant to be noticed. The message wasn't clear, but it was unmistakable. The Zoleri were trying to communicate, but on their own terms. Humanity stood at the brink of revelation. The Watchers had been silent for a reason. And now, that reason was beginning to surface. The coded signals had arrived like a ripple through the global scientific community, setting alarms and igniting hope in equal measure. Dr. Lena Ortiz and her team worked around the clock, deciphering the intricate pulses from the Zoleri fleet. Days passed as they peeled back layers of electromagnetic encryption, revealing fragments of a message unlike anything humanity had encountered before. Then, the full message emerged. It was a warning. From deep within the signal came a voice, not human, but calm and measured. The words were fragmented, filled with cosmic terminology and ancient references, but the meaning was unmistakable. Earth harbored a dormant force beneath its crust. This force was vast, powerful beyond comprehension, and if disturbed, could unleash devastation not only on Earth, but throughout surrounding star systems. The Zoleri are not here to conquer, Lena explained during an urgent broadcast to the United Nations and the world's populations. They are guardians, trying to contain this danger. Their silence was a shield, their barrier, a quarantine. Panic and all rippled through society. The possibility that Earth was hiding a ticking cosmic time bomb was both terrifying and surreal. The message described the force as a cosmic entity, a relic of the galaxy's earliest days, sealed away by the Zoleri eons ago. It slept deep beneath the planet's surface, linked to Earth's unique evolutionary path, a path the Zoleri had long watched over. Disturbing this entity would trigger a chain reaction. The message warned, one that could unravel the fabric of life in this sector of space. Leaders scrambled to understand the implications. The energy field surrounding Earth, the Zoleri's refusal to enter orbit, all pieces of a carefully constructed quarantine system designed to protect the galaxy. Humanity faced a stark choice: respect the quarantine and seek knowledge carefully, or risk awakening a force beyond their control. As the truth settled in, fractures appeared. Some factions demanded immediate cooperation with the Zoleri to strengthen the quarantine and share knowledge. Others argued for bold exploration and even weaponization of the force, viewing it as a source of unimaginable power. Amid the debate, seismic activity beneath Earth grew stronger. Mysterious energy surges recorded by deep Earth observatories Scientists feared that research might inadvertently trigger the very catastrophe. The Zoleri sought to prevent. Dr. Amina Rahal called for calm. This is our test. Our moment to prove whether humanity is ready to bear the responsibility of our place in the cosmos. In an unprecedented move, the Zoleri fleet shifted formation, their ships aligning into a protective ring around Earth's energy field. A silent but powerful gesture of guardianship. For the first time, the Watchers were no longer passive observers, they were active protectors on Earth. Humanity united in cautious resolve. Explorers, scientists, and leaders began plans for a collaborative approach, balancing curiosity with respect, power with prudence. The Zoleri's warning was clear. Earth was both a cradle of life and a potential source of cosmic disaster, and the future depended on how humanity chose to face the challenge ahead. With the Zoleri's warning echoing across the world, humanity shifted from panic to determination. Scientists and leaders alike realized that ignorance was no longer an option. The dormant force beneath Earth's crust demanded study, respect, and caution, qualities humanity had not always mastered. A joint task force was formed, combining Earth's best minds with cautious communication channels open to the Zoleri. While the ancient Watchers remained just beyond the energy barrier, their presence was now an unspoken pact, a silent agreement that Earth's inhabitants would not face this unknown alone. Dr. Lena Ortiz was chosen to lead the first descent mission into the depths where the cosmic entity was said to lie. The team prepared an array of advanced technologies, deep earth probes, energy dampeners, and environmental shields designed to withstand and monitor the mysterious forces below. The descent began from a specially constructed subterranean station, built at the edge of a massive fault line where seismic activity was most concentrated. As the crew descended, sensors recorded a growing intensity of energy pulses that resonated deep in their bones, rhythms that seemed both alien and familiar. The deeper they went, the clearer it became that Earth itself was alive in ways no one had imagined. The walls of the cavernous tunnels shimmered with bioluminescent minerals, casting eerie glows on the explorers' faces. Strange vibrations hummed through the air, as if the planet were whispering secrets long buried. At a critical depth, the team encountered a massive crystalline structure, radiating an energy field unlike anything seen before. The entity was vast and ancient construct, neither fully organic nor mechanical, pulsating with a slow, steady heartbeat. As the team approached, their instruments flickered. Communications with the surface became erratic. The energy readings spiked. Then came a voice different from the Zoleri's, softer but ancient, resonating directly in their minds. "We are the seed." The explorers froze. The entity was not dormant in the sense of lifeless, it was conscious, aware, waiting. "We were placed here to nurture life," the voice continued, "to guide evolution. But we require balance. Disruption brings chaos." Dr. Ortiz spoke carefully. "We seek understanding, not harm. We wish to protect this balance." The seed's presence filled their minds with images of stars being born, civilizations rising and falling, the delicate web of life stretching across the galaxy. Yet, the voice warned of a rising instability, a consequence of unchecked progress and interference from external forces. The Zoleri's quarantine was a safeguard to allow time for healing. Back on the surface, seismic activity intensified. Earth trembled subtly, a reminder that the balance was fragile. The descent team relayed their findings. Humanity's challenge was clear: to respect the ancient force, to learn from it, and to live in harmony or risk unraveling everything across the globe. The news united people in a profound way. The cosmic mystery was no longer distant, it was part of their shared destiny. And while the Zoleri fleet remained watchful in orbit, the true guardianship had now begun. Deep beneath the planet's surface, humanity had taken its first step toward a future intertwined with the galaxy's oldest secrets. The revelation of the sea beneath Earth sparked a profound transformation. Humanity, once divided by borders and ideologies, found itself united by a common purpose: preserving the balance between life and the cosmic forces that shaped it. The global coalition expanded, combining scientific expertise, cultural wisdom, and diplomatic resolve. Governments set aside conflicts, channeling resources into understanding and protecting the ancient entity. It was not just a scientific mission. It was a collective pledge to respect the legacy of the galaxy itself. Dr. Lena Ortiz and Dr. Amina Rahal became symbols of this new era, bridging science and history to guide humanity forward. Together, they advocated for a cautious approach, one that balanced curiosity with humility. Yet, Not everyone agreed. A faction known as the Vanguard emerged, an ambitious group convinced that the power beneath Earth could be harnessed to elevate humanity beyond all others in the galaxy. Their rhetoric grew louder, advocating rapid technological expansion and aggressive exploration of the seed's energy. The tension between the Coalition and the Vanguard threatened to unravel the fragile peace. Amid this turmoil, the Zalari fleet shifted once again. Their ships, massive and ethereal, projected a vast energy net that enveloped Earth, extending the quarantine and reinforcing the protective shield. The message was clear: humanity's time to prove itself was running out. In response, the Coalition intensified efforts to communicate with the Seed and the Zalari, employing new technologies designed to translate the complex energy signals into meaningful dialogue. One breakthrough came when the Seed revealed a shared memory of vision of the ancient Galactic Council, where species united to protect the galaxy's future. The Zalari had been the original stewards, watching over worlds like Earth to ensure that the balance of life endured. This memory inspired humanity to embrace a new philosophy, one of stewardship, responsibility, and interconnectedness. The Vanguard, however, remained defiant, secretly developing technologies to tap directly into the Seed's power, risking catastrophic consequences. As Earth's leaders debated how to contain the Vanguard's ambitions, seismic disturbances escalated. The Seed's warnings grew urgent. Disturbance meant disaster. In a decisive council meeting, Dr. Ortiz addressed the world. "We stand at a threshold," she said. "Our choices will define not just Earth's fate, but the future of the galaxy. We must act with wisdom and unity." Under mounting pressure, the Coalition worked tirelessly to neutralize the Vanguard's threats. With assistance from the Zalari, they developed containment protocols and energy-dampening fields to prevent reckless interference. Finally, in a tense confrontation beneath Earth's surface, Coalition forces confronted the Vanguard operatives. The standoff ended with the dismantling of unauthorized experiments and a renewed commitment to cooperation. The Zalari responded by opening a narrow communication channel, a shimmering wave of energy that allowed tentative exchange between species. For the first time in centuries, humanity had earned the Watcher's tentative trust, and with that trust came new responsibilities and possibilities. The cosmic barrier remained, but now it was a bridge, a symbol of vigilance, respect, and shared destiny. Humanity's journey had only just begun. The tension that had gripped Earth for so long began to ease, replaced by cautious optimism. The Zalari's presence, once a source of fear and mystery, had become a symbol of hope and guardianship. Humanity had weathered its trials, earning the Watcher's tentative trust, and standing on the threshold of a new cosmic chapter. The communication channel opened by the Zalari shimmered softly, an ethereal bridge spanning the gulf between species and time. Messages flowed, fragments of knowledge, histories of civilizations long vanished, and insights into the delicate balance that sustained life across the galaxy. Dr. Lena Ortiz and Dr. Amina Rahal became ambassadors not only to humanity, but to a broader galactic community. Their role was to ensure Earth's place was earned through wisdom, respect, and cooperation. Under this new alliance, technology flourished not through reckless ambition, but tempered by the lessons learned beneath Earth's surface. The Seed's energy, once feared as a potential apocalypse, became a source of inspiration and careful study. Earth cities embraced sustainable innovations, drawing on cosmic energy in harmony with natural systems. Cultural exchanges blossomed as humans shared stories and ideas with the Zalari, discovering surprising commonalities despite vast differences. The Zalari fleet, once a silent ring of watchers, gradually adjusted its orbit, signaling growing confidence in humanity's stewardship. Yet, the memory of the crisis lingered, a reminder of the fragile balance between power and responsibility. A memorial was established on Earth, a monument not to conflict, but to unity. It stood as a testament to what humanity had achieved, standing alone when abandoned, listening when ignored, and rising to meet the galaxy's oldest challenges with courage. In quiet moments, Dr. Ortiz reflected on the journey, from fearful ignorance to cautious trust. Humanity had grown not just in technology, but in spirit. "The galaxy is vast," she said in a final address to the world. "Our place here is not guaranteed, but earned. We have shown we can face the unknown not with fear or arrogance, but with respect and hope." As the Zalari's ships finally eased closer, crossing the once forbidden boundary into Earth's orbit, a new era began. One where humanity was no longer isolated, but part of a greater whole. Guardians Alongside the oldest watchers of the stars, the mystery of their silence had been answered, not in words alone, but in the shared journey toward understanding Dotton, as Earth looked up at the watchers now close enough to see their shimmering forms against the stars. The future felt limitless. For the first time, humanity was ready,